In the penthouse in car number 28, a rookie driver from Wallingford. Asklar Racing brings us Zach Asklar, car number 28.
Wild Things Cars brings us car number 18 from Montgomery, Massachusetts. It's Kyle Spencer.
Mr. Smooth starting third, car number 76. In the President's Landscape and Design car, John Hannafin.
Here's one of the top female drivers at Stafford, and that's a class to be reckoned with. The Porter Motorsports number 21 from Franklin, Mass, Erica Santos.
Then a one-time winner, car number 92. Webb Motorsports brings us the Webmaster, David Webb.
6 starter to the field. This crafty veteran of the Goff Motorsports Pontiac. From Stafford Springs, Jay Goff.
The Race and Mason will be next in car number 12. Frank Cardile Masonry brings us one-time winner, Frankie Cardile.
One of the young winners already in 2010, the United Roll-Off Services, number 84 from Waterbury, Connecticut, Joey Cipriano.
She has 2 feature victories in car number 10. Team Basement Systems presents Heather DeRocher.
He's one of the crafty veterans, tasted the sweets of victory already this season. The D&D Auto Works, number 31 from Plymouth, TC Ted Kane.
One of the Teen Titans will be next in car number 83. Victory Lane Bar and Grill brings us Tommy Barrett.
Sperry Enterprises brings us the number 6 from Bethany, Connecticut for Chad Trombley.
A one-time winner in car number 20. Davidson Specialty Foods brings us the 16-year-old from Meriden, Matt Galko.
Connecticut Valley Block brings us car number 11 from Middlefield, Connecticut, Tony Santangelo.
Here's another 15-year-old from East Hartford in the Home Team Supply 106.9 WCCC car, Dilly the Kid, Dylan Lizio.
Gunsmoke Stables Racing brings us the 99 from Harlington, Connecticut for Stephen Greer.
Then it will be Vic the Quick in car number 74. Burgenti Motorsports, a sponsor for Victoria Burgenti.
Car number 81 is up next, the R&M Auto Services car from Bristol, Connecticut for Todd Clark.
Then it will be car number 16, a rookie driver from Stafford in the mainline heating and supply car. Here is Shane Prucker.
It's scheduled to be car number 00, and that, of course, will be the 00 car for Tony Membrino out of Prospect, Connecticut.
The 59 will be next. Williams Motorsports, a sponsor for a driver from Haddam, Rick Williams.
Car number 13 is up next from Ellington, the Josh White Enterprises car for Josh White.
That is a man who was involved in some tough luck in his qualifying round in the Merrick Engineering Blast Tech car. It is the Scarecrow, Harry Wheeler.
Car number 27 was scheduled to start next. That car hit it a ton also while leading his qualifying, and something broke in the automobile. He was scheduled to start in 25th.
And then in car number 86, making his SK Light debut, it'll be Anthony Flannery as we go to the infield in Cal Chandonnet.
Well, to some, this is just an ordinary bottle of delicious Village Springs water. But the David Webb, it's a good luck charm. The good luck has gone recently for David Webb. Today, they actually had to change a clutch in the Webb Motorsports number 92. He says it's been a struggle so far. The rookies, they've been actually pretty powerful this year, and he's having to actually struggle back and claw back a lot more than he really needs to. Right now, David, he was a very strong start for that driver. He's just looking to come back after a series of DNFs.
So David is hoping there's something in the water tonight. And we'll see what car number 92 does. He's usually a pretty sturdy competitor. Ben, the anticipation is over, and we are ready to start our 5-feature program at Stafford Motor Speedway.
Down the backstretch. This is what the Arute family prides itself, the best in open wheel racing, the best in Friday night competition. Presented to you in part by your friends at CarQuest from Jack Arute Stafford Motor Speedway. This is the NASCAR Wheel and All-American Series. These are the young guns, the best of the old and the best of the new. They head off turn number 4, staring them down. Double greens in the air. We've got a picture-perfect start. Askler and Spencer duking it out down to turn 1.
And Askler is able to beat Spencer into the turn. Spencer goes high, and that opens up the bottom for John Hannafin, who makes an Evel Knievel move to get into second place.
Deep into turn number 3. Meanwhile, Webb goes to the bottom. They're 3 wide already further back in the field. Off turn number 4, back to the stripe they come. Lap number 1 is into the record books, and Webb has now found a home in the 3rd spot. Spencer shoves back to 4th. Here comes Santos. She's looking racy, and Cardile is showing it's no fluke. He's a factor here as well.
Yeah, he is trying to bobsled his way underneath, and right behind him is Matt Galko, stuck on the outside. is the 10 of Heather DeRocher, but she is running good as we have a pair of female competitors side by side fighting for 5th. That's Erica Santos and Heather DeRocher, and fighting for the lead is John Hannafin.
Hannafin gets a little help from his buddy Webb as they will literally bump draft down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Heather DeRocher is a girl who's creating magic in the outside lane. Her confidence is up here tonight, and Heather looks really strong. Trouble. We've got one in the wall. It hits at a ton. It is the Shane Frucker machine, and you can see the front end of that race car literally folded right up as he hit it a ton in the Mainline sponsored race car. That's Mainline Heating and Supply, and that car definitely has some extensive damage done to the front clip of the race car. So a heartbreaker there as we are under yellow.
So Shane, a rookie driver, car number 16, and that car, it looks like the front end is lobotomized, and our Chuck's Auto Wrecker is quickly there to remove the 16 from the fairway here at Stafford. Also, our safety trucks, Family Ford of Enfield. You need new wheels, whether it's new or used, it doesn't matter. Family Ford of Enfield is right there, the place to go. If you're looking for wheels, they got everything you need. The selection, the service, no brainer.
Well, we have 3 laps now complete. Again, we want to apologize, but we got struck by lightning earlier in the week, and unfortunately that's the reason that we're having a technical problem with our scoreboard. So we appreciate you being very patient with us. The distance of this event is 20 laps. We are on lap number 3, and we'll try to keep you abreast of the laps as we'll count them down for you as we are under caution in this SK Light feature event. Hard hit for the number 16 car, Matt. There was no question about that. When you see the front clip bent back and the front wheel, the right front bent back on the race car, you know this is a costly hit. Chuck's Towing Wrecker assisting us with the situation. You mentioned Family Ford of Enfield as car number 16, also with some sponsorship from Casa Grande's being brought back to the center of the infield. The Safety Clean team working on the racing surface itself. 3 laps are now complete in this SK Light feature event. We also want to mention that just around the corner, the excitement for the Coors Light SK Modified 100, the 37th annual event, will be taking place on Friday night, June 11th. It's one of 2 big events for the SK Modifieds, so please make sure you write down that date and put it on your calendar. The SK Light contingency partners are New England Racing Fuels, suppliers of Sunoco, the official fuel of the Stafford Motor Speedway, and the Darrell Yarborough Agency of Nationwide Insurance. So those are our sponsors for our contingency sponsors for tonight's presentation. Matt?
Now the new face in the race, car number 86, is that car was driven by Paul Cola, and it is Anthony Flannery tonight. And he is a sophomore at Vinyl Tech High in Middletown, and he is an honor student. His parents won't let him race unless he makes the honor roll, and he hasn't let him down yet. Now, this division, it's almost become a quarter midget reunion,
yes,
because a lot of these guys have raced against each other a couple of years ago in the quarter midgets.
That's
Joey
right.
Cipriano, Matt Galko, Tommy Barrett, Anthony Flannery, and a guy who isn't in this division, but everybody knows who he is, Dylan Moltz,
That's
also
right.
competed against this crop of youngsters. So a couple of years ago, they were in the quarter midgets, and they have made a pretty impressive transition to the SK Lights. And for every young guy, you have a veteran like Ted Kane, who has 2 victories this year, more than anybody else. So that's what makes this division, I think, so special. You have the crystal ball division, the future of the sport, and then you have the old, the grizzled, is that a good word?
Yeah, that's a proper terminology for it. And
guys like Harry Wheeler.
what a
and
combination,
Ted Kane.
yes,
Yeah.
that we have. And it's working. It's a great class. We know so many young drivers that are really starting to prepare and come up through the ranks. And you have to give credit to the Arute family for the job that they have done to provide this setting, this proving grounds, because it's so important. There was never a transition. You went from quarter midget racing, you went to go-kart racing, and then you had to wait several years before you had the opportunity of competing in what some would call a real race car.
And when these guys competed in quarter midgets, I was talking to Mr. Flannery about that, and Mr. Galko, there would be about 130
That's
cars.
right.
So if you had to, if you were going to be successful, you had to beat a lot of drivers as you were on the track for Saturday, maybe for 10 or 12 hours at a time. So these guys have really paid their dues.
You know, right now as we speak, speaking of drivers that have paid their dues, the Dare Stock drivers are down there signing autographs in Autograph Alley. So head on down behind the main grandstand area, down towards turn number 1. Autograph Alley is set up, and the Dare Stock drivers are down there signing autographs as we speak.
And get a pit stopper, they have a special spot in the centerfold for you to get all those autographs. So you can turn your program into a scrapbook just by having the Dare Stock drivers autograph it for, and a great bunch of peep drivers. And of course, we have 2 female drivers there, Stephanie Berardi and Caitlin Bryce. And last year's champion, Don Wood, is hanging out there. The Casa Grande brothers, Tony Membrino, an impressive list of drivers. So your opportunity to meet him. Of course, a man who has said, I believe he's making his 102nd start tonight, Jeff Jolly. And he's always a great guy to talk to. So it's there, Bosch Spark Plug, Autograph Alley. And you can meet all the great Dare Stock drivers tonight.
Well, coming up, it's about ready to settle back in. Get ready. 3 laps are now complete in this 20-lap event presented by USG. Tonight here at the Stafford Motor Speedway, these are the SK lights, and we're back and racing. Bottom of turn number 1, Askler with a slight advantage on the inside. Here comes Hannafin. Look at Heather DeRocher, the mighty lady, working magic in the outside. Car number 10. Looking to go into the 2nd spot. With her is Erica Santos. Off the turn, like they were shot out of a cannon, it is Hannafin, the leader of the pack.
But the driver with the thickest vapor trail might be Heather DeRocher on the outside. She's in 2nd all by her lonesome. Good move by Webb as a little turbulence for Zach Asklar. Now here comes Heather DeRocher trying to fireball her way into the lead.
Earlier in practice, she was quick, very quick, got a little bit crossed up that time, lost some of her momentum, but she's not done yet. Meanwhile, Kyle Spencer makes some magic, moves into the 4th spot. With Spencer comes the number 83 machine, and that's Tommy Barrett. Remember, Barrett started back in the 11th spot, as now Barrett puts the pressure on Spence. Settling back in to the bottom of the top 10 is Heather DeRocher, but she's not done yet.
As Heather DeRocher will try to fight back, she is currently in 7th. Erica Santos trying to make a power move underneath Kyle Spencer. The white number 21 car, when they hit the stripe, there will be 7 down, 13 to go.
Off the turn, meanwhile, Galko got crossed up, literally was sideways that time, further in the pack. Meanwhile, back down into turn number 1, it is still a dogfight battle for the 3rd spot, currently held down by the Askler machine. Meanwhile, it is Barrett who's tapping on the back bumper. Barrett looks racy to the inside. Challenge is on, off turn number 4. 7 laps now complete.
What a way to finish our 8th lap with Tommy Barrett making that blockbuster move underneath Zach Asklar. So Asklar hanging tough, but Barrett was a little tougher. And now the door might be open for 2 drivers, the 21 of Erica Santos. And here comes last week's winner, Ted Kane, barreling his way toward the front.
9 laps now complete. We're just approaching the halfway marker in this one. Challenge is already on, and it appears that car number 83, Tommy Barrett, is the guy to watch. Barrett's last time was a 20.067. The leader's time, Hennepin, was a 20.180. 10 laps and counting.
And let's see what Barrett can do. Now he wanders to the outside. Might be trying that crossover move against David
trouble
Webb.
now. It is the Askler machine that goes around, and that's going to bring out a yellow as the caution flag comes out on lap number 10. We are 10 circuits into this 20-lap event. We'll set the field for you in just a moment. So we're at the halfway point for our 26-car starting field, SK Lights. And the leader of the pack for the first leader of the event was car number 28 for Askler, leading laps 1 through 3. Then Hannafin took over the lead on lap number 4. Meanwhile, there has been 2 cautions in the event, a situation that took place when the 16 car hit the wall at a ton for Shane Prucker to bring out the first caution on lap number 3. Our second caution is the caution that we're in, 10 laps into this event, and it was for a spin, and that spin, of course, was the man that was the early leader of our event.
Now, John Hannafin has a pair of 4th place finishes this year. That's been his best. but he has been steady. I just looked at his race-by-race stats. He has a couple of 19th place finishes in there, but he has run well enough to maybe have won a couple of times this year.
Let's set the field for you. John Hannafin is your leader. David Webb currently is in second, and Tommy Barrett sets in third. Erica Santos, good run, up to the fourth spot. Ted Kane showing the old dogs can get the job done. He sets in position number 5. Heather DeRocher had the lead, and then unfortunately the car became evil, and she had to settle back into the 6th spot. Then it's the 28 machine, the Askler race car, which goes to the rear of the field because it was the caution car. So that'll put Kyle Spencer up to the 7th spot. Cipriano in the 8th position. Jay Goff is 9th. And Frankie Cardile unofficially among the top 10 cars.
So the ballistic brick is fighting for position. Frankie Cardile looks like we are ready to resume a very critical restart between John Hannafin on the inside, and he is surrounded like Spider-Man's webbing. The 92 of David Webb. Let's see what happens as they rocket their way down the front straightaway. Tommy Barrett trying to go down low against Hannafin.
Can't do it, though, as Hannafin shuts the door. Meanwhile, here comes Ted Kane. He's really creating magic of his own as he currently sets in the 3rd spot. Battle for the lead still. Isn't about to give up. The 83 of Tommy Barrett working him over. Ted Kane gives him a little smooch. No love there as they come off turn number 4 and work their way back to the line. Hannafin is still the leader of the pack. Meanwhile, the 83 car for Barrett still sets in 2nd. But here comes Kane. That car looks like it's a slot car, Matt, and it's running in a groove.
And he is able to mesmerize his way underneath Tommy Barrett. So Kane looking for his 2nd straight victory. The top 3 cars could fit inside a suitcase. The man doing most of the traveling right now is John Hannafin.
Caution flag comes out. The caution is for what looks to be the 99 car, I believe, that has stopped just off from the racetrack at the entrance to pit road.
Stephen Greer in that car, the teammate of Tommy Membrino. So that car is marooned on the entrance to pit road. John Hannafin, very tough to get by on the inside, as we're seeing some pretty crafty driving by John Hannafin of Quincy, Massachusetts, as Tommy Barrett tried to shuffle his way down low, and there was no room, thanks to some alert driving by John Hannafin. A little deeper in the field, trying to make his way up to the front, is Jay Goff. A very interesting story on the Stafford website, written by Scott Running, on Jay Goff, who has been around for a long time. He has never won an SK Light feature or a feature of any kind at Stafford, but he says he would much rather win a championship. He starts the night 3rd in points. So keep an eye on Jay Goff, as he ran here in the 90s, back in a late model, or even longer than that, like back in the 70s. So he took some years off, and when his son, Aaron, got the racing bug, and he wanted to race, well, Jay, he got the racing bug too at the same time, and very popular driver, car number 07.
Sure is, and he's a good guy, both on and off the racetrack, and we need that type of a competitor. There's no doubt about it. We are on the 12th circuit. There have been 3 cautions, 2 for minor spins, 1 for a serious altercation, and it's still a long way to go. Who was fast in practice today? Galko was among the quickest cars on the racetrack with that number 30 car, and now he's slowly marching, the number 20 car rather, slowly marching to the front of the field, and is currently among the top 7 cars. So let's see what's going to happen as we're about ready to go back to green.
So car number 76, John Hannafin, has been the master since lap number 3. Let's see if he can resume, getting a strong challenge on the outside from Barrett.
Down to the bottom of turn number 1, momentum is the deciding factor, and Tommy Barrett, who started in 11th, will take over the lead on lap number 12. Ted Kane comes back to life, and what about Spencer? We counted him out. He was dropping back in the field, and now he's right back up, and he's on the podium.
He has had a rough season. Going down low is Ted Kane as he tries to toboggan his way underneath Hannafin. It didn't work. Spencer a strong 4th. Then it's David Webb, followed by Goff. Erica Santos leading the next contingent of cars, but they're ganging up on her. On the bottom is Joey Cipriano, and to the outside is Matt Galko. So Erica has her hands full.
14 laps, trouble now. Kane and Hannafin get locked together. Webb spins to avoid. So doesn't Trombley. And we've got another car, the 86 machine.
And that is Flannery in his maiden voyage. You know, the age differential with some of these drivers, Ben, is interesting. I believe the oldest driver in the field is Jay Goff, 55.
Yep.
The youngest driver in the field, Joey Cipriano, 15.
15.
So 40 years differential. That means that Jay was 40 before some of our youngsters were born. But those race cars are the great equalizer. Maybe Jay Goff couldn't win a foot race against Joey Cipriano, but in a race car, they are about equal.
They sure are. Down on pit road, Frankie Cardillo's number 12 is steaming. And a tough break for the early leader of the event. Car number 76, of course, is now on pit road as well, and that's the John Hannafin machine out of Quincy, Mass. The family Ford of Enfield checking out the racing surface. So we are 14 laps now complete. 14 laps now complete.
So down to the final 6 laps, and Tommy Barrett has the lead, looking for his first SK Light victory. You remember a couple of weeks ago, it looked like he was in a position to win. He was in second place, and all of a sudden the car got away from him on the night that Mount Galko was able to get the victory. Kyle Spencer is long overdue. He has never had a victory in his 3rd season.
Well, Matt, I just got some information from the NASCAR officials. Car number 31 has been put to the rear for over-aggression on the racetrack. So the 31 of Ted Kane has to go to the rear of the field. 14 laps are complete. 6 laps remain. Now we're going to take a look at it, Matt, here on our monitor in just a moment. And here's the way it looked. They came down the front straightaway. We can see Hannafin is running in second. Kane did come up on him, Matt. And the contact was made, and that's where it all went bad. And now Cal Chenanet has more on pit road. Cal?
Well, the drivers that have dominated so far in the SK Light rookie class have been the drivers of Joey Cipriano and Matt Galko. Both have scored wins, but no driver has been more dominant than Tommy Barrett. Right now, he sits on atop the leaderboard. Can he finish what he started? So close, yet so far away for Tommy Barrett, the driver from Mills, Massachusetts.
Thanks, Cal. And you're right. What a kind of a heartbreaking situation there as it's starting to unfold. Just ready to go back to green for the final 6 laps. Chris Gambado on the starter stand looking the field over. Josh, his counterpart, checking things out. Car number 83, Tommy Barrett, started 11th in this event. And Matt, we've been watching him the last couple of weeks. This kid is on the money. He's aggressive, but he knows how to detune that aggression at times, and that's what we're seeing here tonight. He's been able to run hard up front when he needs to, but been able to lay back just a bit, and that's what it's going to take.
As we are ready for the final 6 laps, and there's another Barrett on the horizon, as Tommy has a younger 12-year-old brother who is currently competing in the Allison Legacy Series. So maybe in a couple of years we could have another brother combination. We have the Membrino brothers, we have the Saunders brothers, the Casagrande brothers, and maybe in a few seasons we will have the Barrett brothers here from Millis, Massachusetts. But right now we are going to have a restart as Chris Gambado gives them the go-ahead, and it is Barrett, straight as an arrow, in the lead.
No question about that. He pulls it off, and here comes Goff as Kyle Spencer refused to give up. Now the Galko machine is among the top 5 cars, running with Erica Santos. That's the battle currently for the 3rd spot. Kyle Spencer comes back down across the racetrack, and he makes a little contact with the Galko number 20.
Almost made contact again. Here comes Galko, trying to stampede his way into the top 4. We have trouble for Chad Trombley at the rear of the field, but a strong move at the front for Galko, and he has infiltrated the top 3 when they hit the line. 4 laps to go.
There, as they come back to the stripe, now Kyle Spencer pulls back out of line, but Galko moves in and takes over second. Don't say we didn't tell you so. We told you that Matt Galko was quick in practice, and you're just seeing how quick he is, because on his last time by, he turned a time of 20.101. The leader was turning a time of 19.986. So out in front and pulling away, but Galko is trying to close up the gap. Here comes Cipriano. He's being challenged by Santangelo as they head down the backstretch.
And Kyle Spencer refuses to die. He is trying to take third away from Jay Goff. Contact as the 07 of Goff winds up in John Deere country as he tries to keep that car stable. But Jay Goff goes from third to obscurity.
But he still manages to keep going. Hats off for him in that situation there. Meanwhile, 18 laps are up on the board as they come to the stripe. There is one circuit remaining. 19 laps now complete, and it looks like Tommy Barrett is going to have a victory if he can hold on for just 3 more turns. Oh, trouble now. We've got a car around. It's the 81 of Todd Clark out of Bristol, Connecticut. The R&M Auto Services car went spinning between turns 3 and 4.
And that groan you heard at Stafford, I think, came from the cockpit of the 83 car of Tommy Barrett, as it looked like he was on easy street. Instead, we brace ourselves for the 3 most exciting words in motorsports: green, white, checker. So Tommy Barrett, this will not be handed to him tonight. He's going to have to go against Matt Galko. Remember, they battled for a victory earlier this season, and Galko was the winner. And look at Erica Santos, has been on the podium twice this year, and she is poised to strike. So watch her. If there's room on the bottom, Erica is aggressive enough to stampede her way to the upper part of the field.
Well, you could see our starter is not too pleased with the situation of Todd Clark with that number 81 car. So there have been 5 cautions in 20 circuits, most for minor spins, 1 for 1 serious altercation, and there have been 3 different leaders. The last lead change taking place on lap number 13. And we're going to go back and take a look, Matt, at a previous situation. Take a look at the monitor and see if we can spot this situation. And this was the Jay Goff situation that went down.
Now, the 18 was behind him. That was Kyle Spencer. And the result that was being punted into the turf was Jay Goff in car number 07. And Goff was in a position where he could have possibly taken over the point lead tonight. Instead, he will have to go to the rear of the field, and the front row is populated by a couple of teenagers, the Teen Titans of the Stafford Motor Speedway. Tommy Barrett in car number 83. Then it is Matt Galko to his outside, and a very interesting second row. A couple of veterans, well, second and third year drivers respectively, but compared to Galko and Barrett, they're veterans. Erica Santos and Kyle Spencer.
Well, off the turn, let's see what's going to happen as they come back to the stripe. 18 laps are now complete. 2 circuits remain. That's 1 mile in the competition here. Green is out. Nice start. Tommy Barrett with the advantage. Matt Galko moves into second. And once again, Erica Santos wants to finish on that podium. Trouble now. Galko's car starts to slow.
Look at Cipriano go all the way from 5th to 2nd.
Cipriano moves into second.
Trouble
now.
as Asquar spins around.
Santangelo spins. White flag is out. Everybody scrambles. And it looks like we're going to remain under green.
Well, Josh White, will he be able to move in car number 13? Tommy Barrett, will he get his first Stafford victory? Cipriano in second, Galko in third. Checkered flag is out. First career win for Tommy Barrett. Cipriano able to edge Galko for second. And in fourth is Erica Santos. Heather DeRocher in fifth. This will be a night Tommy Barrett will never forget. And 3 teenagers, age 15, 15, and 16, occupy our top 3 finishes.
Finishing in the 6th spot, a great comeback by Ted Kane. Todd Clark to finish in 7th. The Askler machine will finish in 8th. Jay Goff, good comeback to finish in 9th. And David Webb to round out the top 10.
Kyle Spencer ran well tonight, but his finish won't indicate that. It will be 11th, followed by Victoria Vergeni in 12th. Anthony Flannery in 13th. Dylan Lizio in 14th. And Rick Williams will finish 15th.
In the 16th spot, it'll be David Webb. Chad Tromley will finish in 17th. Josh White will finish in 18th. And John Hannafin will finish in 19th over Frankie Cardile and Stephen Greer.
So here is Tommy Barrett. Came close a few weeks back, but got into turn number 1. A little too heavy. Deprived himself of a chance to win. But I was very impressed on that restart, Ben, and you pointed out before. As Tommy Barrett tonight, he showed he knew when to be aggressive and when to lay back and be smooth. And he was very smooth on that restart and that enabled him to get the victory. And the move of the night was pulled off by Joey Cipriano. In the last 2 laps, he went from 5th to 2nd. So we go to victory lane and capture all the excitement of our first-time winner. And to handle the MC duties will be Cal Chandonnet.
Well, he's just climbing out of the automobile. Number now, the driver from Millis, Massachusetts, the number 83, the Victory Barrett Circle Chevrolet, Tommy Barrett. Hey, Tommy, congratulations. Handshakes all around. Tommy, what's going through your mind? All those restarts, how did you hold off the pack?
Yeah, there was a few cautions at the end. I wasn't sure if I could hold them off. The car was awesome all night, and just made my job a lot easier. I just have to thank Chris DePisa, his brother Doug DePisa, my dad, Eric Johnson, my grandfather, Stevie Massey, Dana DiMatteo. That's about it.
Well, a laundry list of people to thank. Congratulations once again on USG race night here at the Stafford Motor Speedway. Tommy Barrett taking down the win. Another driver we're going to have a chance to talk to. He's already got 1 win this season. The United Roll-Off Services number 84 for Joey Cipriano. And Joey, going down the backstretch, buddy, what was going through your mind on that one, having to make a wild ride through the grass, making it almost 4 wide?
I just saw a couple cars in front of me get together, and I knew that I had to get by him because that was the only way. So I just stayed on it, and I cut to the bottom. I was able to get by him. Not sure how it worked because, just the motor seemed dead tonight. Just really didn't want to go down the straightaway. So, to be up here talking with you guys, it's amazing.
Well, congratulations. Good to see you back here in CarQuest Victory Lane. Another good run for Joey Cipriano. Another driver who's got a win here at the CarQuest Victory Lane and visiting Stafford Motor Speedway. Victory Lane, Matt Galko, the Davidson Specialty Foods number 21. Matt, come on in here. I'll tell you what, a crazy finish. How'd you guys pull that one off?
I don't know. Tommy Barrett was really good on the inside. He got a good start. I had nothing for him. I just tried tucking underneath him to just finish a good finish. I didn't want to wreck. Came from 13th, so carburetor was sputtering a lot, so I had nothing for him. I'm just glad I came up with the top 3. I just want to thank Tim Rowe and the Davison Company, TSI, everyone from Jeff Navi's crew that helped me get this car ready from the heat race. My dad, my grandfather, my mom, everyone to help me.
All right, thank you very much, Matt Galko. He'll finish 3rd here tonight in the SK Lights. We'll be back more Reeling All-American Series Racing after these words.